All right, y'all. We are back. We are back up in here again, man. Hold on, let me find my music for the night. I don't know what I'm gonna go with, man. Cause I'm gonna have some music playing throughout some of these videos, y'all. But we gonna start off with Book the Rental, man. Cause I ain't played with that shit in a while. But nah, we up in here, man. On y'all way in, make sure y'all hit that like, subscribe, share, turn notifications on, all that in the bag of chips. Y'all know we trying to grow around here. Can only do that with y'all help. So help a brother out. We gotta talk about a few things tonight. Man. First off, we're gonna start with the Oscars, man. I ain't gonna hold you, man. We got to talk about the Oscars, and obviously the big elephant in the room. Sinners, Michael B. Jordan, Ryan Coogler. Like a lot of people was hating when that movie came out, talking trash, man. The motherfuckers taking home awards, and the same people that were defending Michael B. Jordan, Coogler, and Sinners and stuff was like a lot of people in our community, in the Black community, and it's amazing how some subsets, some subgroups of our culture have lost their ever living mind, and they done ran over there with them white folks. I ain't even gonna hold you, bro. I just had to say it. I just gotta get it off my chest. Y'all gonna see what I'm talking about in a second when I show y'all this video. But now it's amazing that we got people bitching about the movie and bitching about this and bitching about that months after this shit done came out, after they win an award, on the day they win an award, all because of what? And like you sound like them same petty ass racist folks that was talking shit about the movie in the beginning, didn't even watch the movie. But either way though, like how I always say it, man, get your cigarettes, get your weed, get whatever you need. Because we about to get into the first video. Shout out to Jew Almighty. He bringing us this one today, and we about to get it popping. Let's see what we got.
Sinners just won 4 Oscars, and all of a sudden, Ryan Coogler is receiving criticism for his lack of inclusion, while his politics and views on the LGBT plus Q community have been put under a microscope.
Just somebody voguing would have been a very simple, easy ad. It would have taken nothing away from the film.
And Ryan Coogler himself won an Oscar for Best Screenplay, which is a monumental achievement for a Black director telling an unapologetically Black story. You would think this will be a moment of celebration, not just for the film or the cast, but for the culture as a whole. But instead, one viral tweet about a lack of inclusion, and suddenly the discourse around Sinners completely shifted.
This conversation is coming about after this Black man won an Oscar for Best Original Screenplay. I don't like that. How it feels kind of like a backhanded, like, oh yeah, congratulations, this is a wonderful work. But no, that's not how this works. That's not how this works.
The focus was no longer celebratory or on the success or achievement of Sinners and Ryan Coogler, which kind of all highlights this crab in the barrel mentality that we've seen too many times.
Y'all do not want Ryan Coogler to tell y'all stories or to represent y'all. Stop it. You just want to complain.
Where instead of just uplifting a win or celebrating somebody achieving something great, people start intentionally looking for reasons to not like them or to tear them down.
What we absolutely are not about to do is do this with the Ryan Coogler on this day, 2 days after he made history as only the second Black man to win Best Original. We just not about to do this.
But I'm Jew. Welcome to the channel. Please like and share the video.
Like and
Don't
share.
forget to sub.
All
now,
this right here,
let's
yeah.
get into
All
the
that.
Sinners dance sequence in the movie is really only missing a voguer. It's definitely an oversight. I wonder, has anyone asked him about it? This was the first tweet that started the discourse about gay or queer representation.
Now y'all hear what's going on, man. These motherfuckers just won an Oscar, bro. Won some of the highest awards. Best actor, screenwriter, whatever, screenplay, whatever. I don't know what he won. And the sad part, this movie was filmed on a small budget compared to what it brought in. Like, this was a blockbuster movie, y'all. We already had to deal with the white folks in the beginning dogging the movie out because it was a Black movie and it was during slavery. Well, not slavery time, but Jim Crow segregation time. And they showed Michael B. Jordan shooting some white people. They lost their minds over that. But now, after they done won this award, man, you got the people in the LGBTQ community trying to come in here, y'all. Like, on some real shit. And that's why I say, look, it's cool. Y'all do what y'all want to do. This is my stance on people that's on that type of time. Do you? I ain't finna say nothing to you, but keep that shit to yourself. Now y'all trying to come for this man and try to tear this man down in the movie down right after they hit their highest moment, all because you want to say that he should have had some more gay people in the movie. I can understand if it was like y'all doing all these movies for years and not letting Black people be able to get into the industry and all that. I can understand that argument, but I'm like, dude, there are so many gay movies out here, and this movie had nothing to do with gay folks. It was a vampire movie. Either way, though, I'm gonna let it keep going, man. It's crazy. These motherfuckers. I don't know. I think some people try to find a reason just to be mad about stuff. To be honest with you.
In Sinners, I think it's worded interesting though, especially it's definitely an oversight part. There are a bunch of different cultures, subcultures, genres, subgenres in the Black community, from music to dance to lifestyle, that were not represented in that specific moment, in that specific scene, which in my opinion is one of the greatest scenes in cinema history. It's my favorite, hands down. But I think anybody can say that about anything that they represent or love that's not represented in that moment in the film, right? There weren't tap dancers in there. If you're from the DMV, nobody was beating their feet in there. They didn't have hyphy dancing in there. Ryan Coogler is from Oakland. It's just so many people that weren't represented in that one specific moment in time in that scene, which makes sense because Ryan was telling a very specific story about a very specific moment in time, and the through line just being Black music or culture in that way. So of course it's not going to represent everything. And I don't think Ryan Coogler has to represent every single thing in his films. No filmmaker, no white filmmaker is asked to represent every single thing. So it's definitely like an unfair suggestion or ask. But like I said, I don't think this one specific tweet was bad or offensive or anything like that. But of course, with 1 million views, it caused a ton of reactions and responses to it. And just from the comments under that tweet alone, you can kind of see the discourse. Why the fuck would they have a vulgar? They'll have to fix it when it comes to Broadway. They'll have to fix it. It's just really interesting. It's like a built-in
Fix it. Like trying to look, man, stop trying to force yourself into something that ain't even about you. That's the crazy part about it. Like, this wasn't why are the gay folks coming out now talking shit about this shit? Why didn't y'all say that in the very beginning when y'all saw the movie? You waited till after these motherfuckers won an award to try to say he must be homophobic or something because he didn't put some gay scenes up in here. Like, bro, gay scenes ain't got to be in every movie. Like, shit, there's movies where ain't even no Black people in it. It's like y'all don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, they really losing their shit over nothing.
Entitlement that it has to be a certain way when it doesn't. It's somebody else's vision. It can be however they want to make it. I was thinking it was missing a drag performance as well. Again, anybody that wasn't represented is going to feel like, oh, well, it can also include that, but it doesn't have to.
Somebody tweeted that the big dance sequence in Sinners should have included someone voguing, and that conversation turned into
Is this new term voguing? Like, is that like the new term for gay or something? Because I don't know what that term means, but I'm guessing they using it in this context. So I'm guessing it means you gay or something. But I don't get. Why they keep changing all these words up?
people critiquing Ryan Coogler and the lack of queerness in his films. And this critique has led to a lot of backlash, primarily people saying that it is not Coogler's responsibility to portray every Black subculture in his films.
Yeah.
And I find that critique actually kind of silly because in that dance sequence in particular, we saw so many different subcultures, so many different Black subcultures, that inserting queerness, which really, as that person initially tweeted, it's just somebody voguing, would have been a very simple, easy.
You're proving the exact same point that the man just said in the very beginning. Like, dude, he ain't got to put it in there. You can understand that argument, but then you go into insisting that he put some in there. You said there was a lot of other subcultures that were not in it. Do you hear those people of those subcultures losing their mind over it? No, you got these gay folks coming around here saying that he could put up it. What are you talking about, girl? I really, man, look, I don't know what to tell you. And like I said, that's a dance. For real, it's a dance. Like, these people tripping, bro. And it's crazy. It's like every time some Black folks reach a height or achieve something, it's like you got these folks coming out the woodworks. No matter which group they coming from, it's always some people coming out the woodworks trying to bring these motherfuckers down. He do not got to put gay people in the movie, bro. Like, what the fuck you talking about?
The ad. It would have taken.
But it ain't even that he ain't even putting gay people in the movie, because he probably got actors that are gay. He just ain't putting no gay scenes in the movie. Like, come on now.
Taking nothing away from the film. And I really want people to sit with why they think Black queerness is not a canon event. Black queer people did not fall out of a coconut tree. And they for sure existed in 1930s Mississippi Delta.
But that tweet and the discourse around it really...
And I'm gonna tell you this, man. The only folks out here yelling from the mountaintops to have more gay Black representation is the Black gay folks. Because motherfucking straight Black people have a very big problem with gayness. Like, I'll be honest with you. We don't play that shit over here for real. So for the Black folks that are gay, they already know they're going against the culture with how we kind of move. And they yelling from the mountaintop. It's like, look, man, we already don't agree with what you're doing, but shit, do your thing, but keep that shit over there. Like, bro, stop bringing that shit around here. Everybody probably got one gay person, something in their family somewhere, somehow. But damn, like, bro, y'all don't be talking about that shit like that, man. Keep that shit to yourself, bro. Keep that shit to yourself. Now they crying.
To the next one, which I think was a lot more divisive. I would like to know Ryan Coogler's politics around queerness, though. He is a film director, just like any other film director, and he speaks through his art, through his medium. I've never heard this question or demand directed at Martin Scorsese or Steven Spielberg. They never asked Quentin Tarantino, Martin Scorsese, Francis Ford Coppola, Taylor Sheridan, or Steven Spielberg what their personal politics are and thoughts on gayness. But when it comes to a successful black man from Richmond telling his stories, now this is needed. That is my point exactly. He's telling his stories from his life experience, the things he's been inspired by. The twins Smoke and Stack, I believe, were connected to his uncles or his aunts. It's just really weird that all of a sudden this is a problem that Ryan Coogler has to address, or it's taking sinners down a peg because it didn't have this specific representation when that wasn't the story it was telling.
A lot of people are highlighting how Ryan Coogler doesn't have a lot of queer representation in his work. I would like to draw our attention to something else, and that's the amount of vulnerability and relationship and closeness that we've seen between black men, the affection that we've seen between black men. I cannot, that has been sitting with me for these last couple of days. When you saw the way that they embraced each other when they won the awards, the way that they talked to each other when they're on the press junket before the movie was out, while the movie was in theaters, and during this awards campaign season, that you don't see a lot of black men being vulnerable and open and embracing each other like that. And I would be remiss to not say, when we're having conversations about representation, particularly with queer folks, particularly with black queer folks, you want to ensure that safety and representation are not mutually exclusive, meaning that they need to both exist at the same time.
Man, look, I ain't gonna lie, man. I gotta look up the definition of queer, man. Cause like, I think we got too many damn names. Okay, queer is an umbrella term for sexual. I know y'all can't see y'all, but I'm reading off Google. Queer is an umbrella term for sexual and gender minorities who are not heterosexual or cisgender. It acts as a reclaimed, often political self-identity for those challenging rigid binary. So you gay? So the term covers a wide spectrum of identities, including lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, non-binary, gender fluid individuals. Are you gay? Like, just say that, man. Stop making all these other words, man. Are you gay? Like, either you gay, you bisexual, and that's it. You can be transgender, all that shit. You still gay? Like Bruce ain't gay. Bruce is transgender, but he like to fuck women. What's his name now? Caitlyn? His name Caitlyn now. Either way, let's keep going, man. I don't like all these terms, man. You don't need to use, are you gay or you lesbian? You gay or you bisexual? Whatever the fuck. Figure one out. Stop all these other words. Just trying to complicate something that's very simple. Just say you gay or say you bisexual.
Right. And one of the ways that we have to challenge homophobia in our communities is through addressing the way that men show up, addressing masculinity. We cannot create safe environments for representation to flourish if we're not challenging the way that men historically show up in our communities. We can't. It's also kind of unfair to put the onus on him to be the one to create spaces for queer representation if that's not a space or a community that he exists in. Now, I think there's an opportunity or for a conversation to say, like, can we platform more queer artists, whether that's actors or folks who work behind the scenes, writers, producers, cameramen.
Man, who y'all remember that dude that made Old Town Road? What's his name? The boy that made Old Town Road. Lil Nas X. Yeah, Lil Nas X. You talking about representation? You got representation right there. You got representation right there. That shit's just out there for no goddamn reason too much. Like, you now you bitching about the movies. They had literally movies that are straight gay movies. Like, it's really interesting to see, like, why are y'all really coming after this black director, not putting y'all in there when all these other directors out here don't be putting y'all in some of these movies and shit. And y'all don't say shit. Y'all don't hold them to the same account that you holding him to. It's like, come on, man, we need to figure it out.
Man, whatever the case may be. And it's also, who's to say that they haven't? We don't know who's working behind the scenes as closely as we do who's on screen.
And again, I think these tweets come in directly after the biggest moment in a black director's life. With this
I would like to know Ryan Coogler's
film that
politics
kind of
around
represented
queerness,
and put on for
It ain't
black
your
culture
damn
as a
business.
whole feels kind of disingenuous, like people trying to purposely steal the spotlight or bring down the moment for Sinners, Ryan Coogler, and the cast.
What I struggle with is that this conversation is coming about after this black man won an Oscar for Best Original Screenplay.
Yeah, like why didn't y'all say none of this shit after the movie came out? It's been out for months. You only talking shit now after they won this award. So it does seem like you're trying to bring these folks down. You're trying to bring down a man during his success over some bullshit that ain't even worth nothing to be talking about. Like, really think about that. They had all the time between when the movie came out and the award ceremony. Months. Ain't hear no word about none of this shit. Now it's some shit now. Okay.
And has the most nominated movie in Oscar history. I don't like that. How it feels kind of like a backhanded, like, oh yeah, congratulations, this is a wonderful work. But no, that's not how this works. That's not how this works.
You had 14 years to express his concern, but did it on his biggest night. While it can be a valid concern that I don't care about, it's disingenuous due to the timing. Nah, I did it when Black Panther 2 came out as well. You're just a stranger looking for a moment of engagement on the timeline. Maybe specifically he did bring up this.
How the fuck you supposed to have some gay shit in Black Panther? Man, that's a Marvel movie. That's a comic book. It's already been written. They just reenacting the shit. I don't think Black Panther had a lot of gay characters around him. Like, what's going on?
Same question back then, but I don't think that's the case that anybody responding to this tweet with a confusion or question is looking for a moment. And this interaction had me dying because I'm just so confused. Why? Y'all got Tyler.
You 100% right about that. Because they were like, the Hispanic folks was talking shit about this movie in the beginning, talking about how they ain't in it. White folks was talking shit about the movie because they were talking about him shooting white people. Now you got the gay people after the fact. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all folks? Oh, it ain't nothing but Dust Till Dawn. Okay, guess what? It did better than Dust Till Dawn. How about that shit? It won an Oscar, motherfucker. It won multiple Oscars. Like, I just think some people just want to complain about things, and they just, I don't know. Look, there's a lot of things to be mad about right now, but damn, this movie, I don't think it's one of them. Let's just say it. It's a lot of things going on in this world that you should be mad about right now. This movie is not on the list, bruh. It's not on the list. It's crazy.
Perry, fuck you and Tyler Perry. But a lot of responses to that tweet were really interesting. People don't do this to any other demographic when they achieve great things. That is 100% facts. All of a sudden, when a black person achieves something, they're responsible or have to put the whole entire culture on their back or have all these demands placed on them for representation. But black males always need to be problematized. I wonder why.
Y'all do not want Ryan Coogler to tell y'all stories or to represent y'all. Stop it. No, you do not want.
I don't know why he looking at the camera like that, bruh. I ain't gonna lie, they were recording that whole like this. Y'all know. Like, why you looking? Why you got your nose up like that, bro? Lean your head down a little bit. Lean your head down.
Fact. You just want discourse. You just want to complain. You just want to say something on the motherfucking internet. Stop it. If y'all really cared that much about gay representation,
I don't like the way he talk, his cadence. I don't like his cadence.
y'all would not have let Noah's Ark movie flop. And that's all I'm gonna say.
And then people start going even deeper with it. Absence of queers and sinners is simply the average black heterosexual imagination of black history. I don't know how that statement even applies to anything. Sinners didn't say gay people or queerness didn't exist. It told a very streamlined story about I can't believe I'm
vampires, bro.
It told a very streamlined story about two brothers coming back to their hometown in the South from Chicago and trying to build something of their own in a racist Jim Crow time period. Not to mention, it's a fucking vampire movie. Can we relax? Despite that, black, trans, and queer are all up and through Reconstruction and post-Reconstruction history onward. The first trans woman to testify before Congress was a former slave. It's like he's making a completely separate argument because who argued that any of that wasn't real or wasn't happening? It just wasn't the specific story being told. My brother in Christ, Sinners was not a historic reenactment of black history. It was a vampire movie.
Thank
Y'all
you.
just need to be honest and say you're looking for a reason to tear down Ryan Coogler because he is a successful black man. Not only that, the dude
That's what
is
it
a
sound
black
like.
man, doesn't code switch, tells his stories, employs his people, is married to a beautiful black woman. So why are we nitpicking this man all of a sudden? Why are we judging Sinners for the things that it doesn't include instead of all the greatness that it is?
We got commercials tonight, y'all. Don't worry about it.
I can't see your screen.
Just look at me real quick. Like, just look over here.
Sometimes
look over
baby
here.
steps
Keep your
turn
eyes
out to
right
be
here.
giant leaps.
Keep your eyes right here on me.
The squish when life changes.
I'm
All right, here
gay,
we go.
and
We
I
go back to it
genuinely enjoy seeing gay representation in the media, especially when it comes to black gays and black queer and black LGBT, LMNB, all that. I genuinely love it. But what we not about to do, what we absolutely are not about to do, is do this with the Ryan Coogler on this day, 2 days after he made history as only the second black man to win Best Original. We just not about to do this. Ryan Coogler, to me, is one of the greatest directors and filmmakers and writers, whatever you want to call it, that this world has ever seen and the world is going to ever see. But then I started kind of seeing tweets, or whatever you want to call it, where people are basically demanding and saying that, oh, he needs to make LGBT aimed content. First of all, how you gonna tell this man what he needs to make? I don't think that's how that works. The thought process of some of y'all, baby, I will never, ever, ever understand, because in what world does that make any sense that you're gonna try to force somebody to make anything for your liking? Is you cool?
Y'all do this thing where a black person makes it, achieving a new height of success. You throw every single issue affecting black people on their shoulders, then criticize them for not solving or addressing it all. Stop it. There were Asians and Sinners, right? There were Asians in the dance sequence, right? Okay, because I was just wondering. And the responses to some of these is just funny. Yeah, we should cancel him because he didn't have black people in wheelchairs spinning in circles and popping willies to represent the disabled black community. That is kind of how all of this sounds. The Ryan Coogler LGBTQ conversation is stupid and misguided.
Motherfucker did not say having them motherfuckers in wheelchair. Hold up, man. Hold on. You got to say that shit again, bro. Because that's the crazy thing is that the people in this community are fucking bitching they ain't have y'all in the movie. But look, somebody in this situation could have asked the same thing too, bro.
He didn't have black people in wheelchairs spinning in circles and popping willies to represent the disabled black community. That is kind of how all of this sounds.
How many likes that shit get, bro? That shit should have got a lot more. It should have got a lot more than 8,400 views, bro. That should have got a lot more than that, bro. Because that's funny right there. That's funny as fuck right there. Shout out to Hurricane C up in the building. Got Op in the building up in the building. He said they want a straight man to tell their story. Yeah, man. How about y'all? Man, a lot of them folks in Hollywood are gay anyway, so they got a lot of gay directors telling stories. Bro, they just really trying to niggas be hating, bro. They be hating. That's what I really think the ultimate point is. They just hating, bro. Because I'm like, you didn't have old black people in wheelchairs busting willies and shit in that motherfucker. There was disabled black people during that time. But y'all bitching about them not having some gay folks in a vampire movie, bro. It's crazy, bro.
The LGBTQ conversation is stupid and misguided. He doesn't need to make any queer-focused content, nor should he be obligated to even feature queer characters. What he should do is mentor and uplift black queer writers and galvanize their work. Even that, the entitlement and what he should do.
He ain't gotta do that. What the fuck are you talking about? What he should do is mentor and uplift black queer writers and galvanize the work. If he don't fuck with the shit, he don't fuck with the shit. Why he gotta do that? He gotta do that. Bro, that is entitlement right there. That is entitlement. Leave that man the fuck alone. If you don't want to watch his work, you don't like how he moved, bro, don't support it. I'm promising you, there's enough of us out here that man gonna keep making movies for a long, long time. The motherfucker be putting out bangers, bro. Fruitvale Station, man, that shit was a banger, bro. He did good with all the Creeds, all the Black Panthers, and he didn't the smart thing about him. You got a director and an actor that done linked up together, and they do a lot of work together, bro. They've been putting out hits, bro. They've been putting out hits together, man. I don't know. Motherfuckers just be hating, bro.
Ryan Coogler doesn't have to do anything for anybody. The only thing he has to do is stay black and die. I think the demanding part of this is really disingenuous and entitled because Ryan Coogler is a creative putting on for his culture and his life experience. The dude has been nothing but respectful, nothing but fair, and a good representation for black people. That's all we can ask. Ryan Coogler has only directed 5 features. That's crazy. I thought it was 6, but he didn't direct Creed 2, I don't think. So it was Fruitvale Station, Creed, Black Panther 2, and then Sinners. yeah, 5. He included queer representation in 2 of them. He was respectful to black women in front and behind the camera, and today he's getting torn apart. It shows no matter what effort or outreach you make, it doesn't matter. See how people create issues where there just isn't one. In response to that original tweet, no, you don't. You're actually secretly hoping that he's homophobic so you can have a reason to hate him, because you probably feel he's gotten more successful than a nigga has any right to be. No one has to secretly hope anything. He's an Oakland nigga who played football in college. He has ignored and never included LGBTQ in his film. So now they're just making an assumption that he's homophobic out of absolutely nowhere. He probably says pause in conversations. I don't get why we need to play dumb on this in the first place, to be honest. Crazy. It's weird how every time
that is kind of crazy out of nowhere. You don't even know this guy. This guy's never even spoke on this type of shit, and you just come out the woodwork and say that, yeah, nigga, we know he don't like gay people. And it's like, nigga, what evidence do you have of that? Like, come on now. Like, y'all, they really reaching, bro. They trying, like, I don't like when we see black people achieve shit. You got people that come out the woodwork, and a lot of these people are his own folks. Some of our people doing this shit, bro. We already had the white folks and Hispanics in the beginning. I forgot all about the Hispanics talking shit about the movie beforehand. Forgot about them. But yeah, the white folks and Hispanic folks talking shit about the movie. I don't know what the Asian folks said about it. They probably didn't have much bad shit to say about it. But I'm like, come on now. Now you got your own community, the gay community of your community. Like, nigga, come on, man. Y'all nigga need to find something to do. Go jump on a dick or something.
Has to be represented in stories that are supposedly about all walks of black life. Sinners was not about all walks of black life. It was a very specific story about the Delta, about 2 brothers, about vampires, fucking vampires. I think people keep getting lost in that. The greater black community acts like they're asking for too much. It's not wrong to ask why there's not a clear queer dance in Sinners. It was much more than asking about the dance in Sinners. It was questioning his political beliefs and where he stands with the queer community. But I think this tweet really hits the nail on the head for this topic in a lot of ways. Sinners is not and was not about all walks of black life, though. No film is, so why did that even become a thing? Expecting any piece of art to reflect all walks of any group's lives is the problem. Like, that's not the whole issue right there. Everybody stop projecting. At the end of the day, Ryan Coogler has done nothing but make great films and represent the black community well. He doesn't owe anything to anyone. I get the idea of wanting to be represented and wanting representation on screen for yourself and your community, but demanding that from one specific director for absolutely no reason, especially if he has no ties to that specific community, and then questioning his views on things, calling him homophobic with no evidence, is all just a bunch of reaches in a bridge way too far. Ryan Coogler has done nothing but be great for black people. But shout out to my channel.
And real shit. Like, he doesn't represent it. It's kind of like how people say, like, the way LeBron carried himself, come out of high school and shit. Like, Ryan went hype like that, but the dude got into the industry. He started putting in work. And we're seeing the fruits of the hard work, the dedication, and he's representing us in a good light with all the movies that he does. And it's like, man, y'all just trying to tear this dude down for like what, man? You trying to find reasons to tear the man down. Like, we already got enough issues going on in America with way our relationship is with the greater community, the greater society. We know our history in this country. Like, bro, why the fuck you adding on to it? Like, for real. Pick a fucking lane and ride your spot, bro. Like, get the fuck out the way and like leave that dude alone. I don't get it, man. But shout out to Sinners, bro. I actually ended up finally watching the movie, and it was actually good, man. I ain't gonna bullshit. It was good. It was a good movie. And I'm really not into watching movies lately. Like, bro, it just don't hit the same like it used to. But that was actually a good movie. It was it was a good movie, man. It was a good movie. You say Hurricane said I'm sub the Jew Almighty 2 cool channel. Yeah, man, I like a lot of the shit that he be putting out there, bro. He putting out some crazy shit. But look, man, we got to move on from that, man, because y'all know we talked about this shit when it happened, and this was some years ago, bro. That's the crazy part, man. It's bringing back memories because this happened some years ago. But Afroman, man, I know y'all had to hear about it, man. He had his trial. Well, because, like, they broke into his house, bro. The police, in whatever town he stayed in, broke into his house, said that he was a part of some drug ring or whatever. And he had him on security camera. We talked about this years ago. And they pretty much didn't want to fix his door or none of that shit. They stole some of his money and shit. So he ended up, like, saying, fuck it, I'm going to just make some videos about him, put them on YouTube and shit. This happened a while ago. Well, obviously, these cops got in their feelings like they always do. Got in their goddamn feelings. And they decided they were going to sue him. The police department was going to sue him. Well, they just recently wrapped up the trial, y'all. They just recently wrapped it up. And I want y'all to see some of the highlights from this shit, because this shit was fucking hilarious. Like, these some whiny ass bitches, bro. I ain't gonna lie, these folks in this police department some straight up hoes. But shout out to TYT Sports for this one, y'all, because that's who giving it to us this time. But yeah, let's go and jump into this shit, man. This shit was crazy, bro. I ain't even gonna hold you. This shit was crazy.
Can you tell me what fact about you that receding hairline or refers to, please?
I'm sorry?
What private fact of yours does that refer to?
I mean, there's a picture of me, and let's see here. Talking about see, I wouldn't trust him with methamphetamine crack alone in my house. I find that pretty insulting.
So that statement is what you're suing on.
I told you this is one of many.
Well, and that's why we're trying to find.
You keep trying.
Big ass crybaby, bro. Like y'all gonna see a lot of crime from some grown ass superior race motherfuckers.
To make it singular, I'm telling you, it's not singular, it's plural.
Okay, and so one of them is dip, one is receding hairline,
Yep.
and the other is meth heads.
Yes.
Is there any more?
Well, when he's sitting there making accusations against the organization that I, at that time, was working for, destroying community trust, all based off of a lie, that's what ultimately stopped.
And that's
This motherfucker not understand that you destroy his reputation inside of his own community by breaking into his house on some bullshit over a lie. Y'all never charged that man with anything. But you mad that he fucking showed the video of y'all. It made some songs of y'all breaking into his house. It's crazy. It's amazing, y'all.
community trust in the Adams County Sheriff's Department, correct?
Yes.
The Afroman trial is flat out bonkers, everybody.
Sean, you were called Officer Pound Cake by Mr. Foreman?
Multiple times.
Hey, man, look, this motherfucker was staring like y'all seen the video, the surveillance footage. Man, that dude was staring at that pound cake, bro. He just kept, he was about to put his gun down and get a slice of that pound cake Afroman had in the kitchen, bro. See, this pound cake man right here. His feelings hurts too, y'all. Look at him. He's so sad.
Received hundreds of pound cakes at work from different people. Received hundreds of pound cakes at work.
Called Officer Pound Cake by Mr. Foreman?
Multiple times. Received hundreds of pound cakes at work from different people.
Afroman called this man Officer Pound Cake. The people were trolling his ass, sending that nigga pound cakes at his job. Bruh, you got to shout out to those people that sent a free pound cake to this motherfucker, because I know that shit probably pissed him off.
And the context of that name comes from a music video that Mr. Foreman created, correct?
I don't know where he got it at, but you'd have to ask him that question.
Not only did the cops get made fun of by the artist, but he made songs about them.
And the more lies, outrageous lies you tell about them, the more money you can make, right?
Fact, they never should have came to my house in the first place. Fact, if they hadn't came to my house, they wouldn't have put themselves on the video.
And look, Afroman playing with them folks. Look how he came in the court, bruh. They got the American flag suit on their head, nigga. All of them say that shit again. Let's go.
Money you can make, right?
Fact, they never should have came to my house in the first place. Fact, if they hadn't came to my house, they wouldn't have put themselves on the video camera and in my music career. All of this is their fact. All of this is their fault. And they have the audacity to sue me. These people and you are the predators and the victim at the same time.
So what they did, searching your house, gave
Afroman.
you the right to do everything you
Under
got.
the circumstance that I got freedom of speech, after they run around my house with guns and kick down my door, I got the right to kick a can in my backyard, use my freedom of speech, turn my bad times into a good time. Yes, I do. And I think I'm a sport for doing so, because I don't go to their house, kick down their doors, flip them off on their surveillance cameras, then try to play the victim and sue them.
Here was the genius.
That's some real ass shit though, y'all. That's some real ass shit right there. Afroman ain't even playing with him. Like he playing with him because you see the glasses in the suit, but he ain't playing with him. If y'all know what I mean.
Lyricist himself explaining why he is allowed to do so. For the cops,
he looks like he regrets being part of this now that it's public and happening. Oh my God.
Mr. Eastep, I'd like to take a look at the screen in front of you. You're going to see what's been marked Defense Exhibit C.
Afroman wasn't playing with him, y'all.
Look at the comments.
Singular post that Mr. Foreman made in reference to you, correct?
Yes.
Where you were called, and I quote, Colonel King Kong Bundy.
Yes.
King Kong Bundy was a wrestler, correct?
Yes.
Damn good one, correct?
Damn good
I don't know
one.
about that.
They have been made a mockery of by Afroman.
The defamation statement is that he said he had sex with your wife.
Yes.
And that's painted you in a false light.
It's caused tremendous pain in my life.
I'll get to that. We have to go through false light first. So does it paint you in a false light?
Yes, that my wife is cheating on me with Mr. Foreman.
But we all know that's not true, correct?
I don't know.
Oh my god, bro, these folks funny, bro. These folks funny, man. He don't know, y'all. He don't know.
Wait, you don't know if your wife's cheating on you or not?
You want to go there?
No, I just want to ask that question because you said we don't know.
Yes.
I've been with that woman since middle school. I
That woman. He been with that woman.
would hope she wouldn't. But you know what? Once somebody puts it out there for their fun and entertainment, it's out there. And it's a problem.
So it's something we cannot verify the truth of? Is it a thing that can be verified, true or false?
Ask your client.
Let's pause here. I think this may be the greatest
fucking
trial that
attitude.
I have ever come across because it is producing nothing but banger.
Mr. Foreman posted that Lisa Phillips likes to have sex with other women.
Lick 'em, Lisa.
He used other words. She ate my ex-wife just like pizza. Eating, blah, 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 over and over, thousands of times on the internet.
Damn.
People saw it. People laughed. People
Lick
from
Lisa.
out of state. But people here in Adams County would sometimes yell at her when they saw her. Hey, Lisa Lick'em-Low Phillips.
After banger,
So who is Sean Grooms?
Nah. And that's what they get though. Look, this is the least of they words that people in the town that call them lick 'em Lisa. Lick 'em low, Lisa. That's the least of your problems because you should be in fucking jail. Breaking into somebody's house with a false fucking warrant. Y'all got people out here lying and judges just signing off on these bitches. Y'all fucking people's houses up, taking their money and not fucking paying for the damages in that bitch. Like, bro, hell nah. Look, clown the fuck out them motherfuckers. Lick 'em, Lisa. Pound cake, all that shit, and I fucked your wife. Look, man, he wasn't even playing with him. Do something about it. Oh, and they did what he wanted to sue. Well, here we go, y'all. This shit funny right here to me.
Sean Grooms is one of the police officers suing me. In the deposition, he said that he got a divorce because of me. My attorney reached out to his ex-wife, and come to find out, he actually got a divorce because he was having sex with like meth head, crackhead women on duty. He was giving them what I call penis plea deals.
Right.
Explain that to me.
I had recently got divorced.
Did she divorce you solely because of this?
Not solely, but
What did she say exactly that this played into the divorce?
she was tired of hearing about it.
It's out of
People
hand.
asking her, "Is your husband a thief? How could he do something like this?" Or,
after banger,
You posted videos about Brian Newland doing hard drugs and snitching on his friend, and you posted those based on rumors.
I did.
We can look at your deposition, but before you argue with me,
Yeah, I did.
that you made those allegations based on rumors you said you heard.
It's a fact. William Newland is a convicted pedophile, and And Brian Newland is his brother. After I zeroed in on Brian, I asked about him.
Oh, his
Come to
brother's
find
pedophile.
out, he's a large statutory rapist that has sex with all kind of underage girls. He buys them beers and gets them drunk and all kind. That's probably the reason he had to leave the Adams County Sheriff Department, because he beats up his wife and he messes with underage girls, and he had to get out of town and go get a job in Northwood.
All right.
I mean this sincerely.
Man, they playing with these folks on the stand, bro. And I love it, man. I love it. I know they hate his fucking guts, but I love it. I love it.
I cannot believe what I am watching. I truly cannot believe we are taking this in together. So what exactly is the backstory here? Afroman, real name Joseph Foreman, is being sued by Adams County Sheriff's deputies because they claim he used their likeness without their approval. His attorneys argue.
Think about this shit, y'all. Use their likeness without their approval. You broke into his house and he used the camera footage from his camera, his home security system, to make videos about y'all. And y'all mad. We can't even get the body cam off of y'all, and y'all shoot a nigga in the back for fucking years if we even get it. But you, man, nigga, please.
This is a case pertaining to the First Amendment, freedom of speech. It stems from a raid on his home in the year 2022. Now, he used the raid footage in music videos that he posted online, specifically his YouTube channel, which you all should go subscribe to. He wants to reach 1 million subs. The officers got a warrant for alleged drug trafficking. The neighbors would notify him that the cops surrounded his property while he was in Chicago, Illinois. He said there was significant damage done to his house, including the breaking down of a door, glass breaking, plus somehow there was $400 missing. In addition, they would disconnect his security camera. Afroman thus did.
Somebody sticky fingers. You done broke my goddamn door. You done broke glass in my house. I heard that his fence got messed up too. And y'all stealing money. And then you go and try to disconnect his security. Why would you try to disconnect his security system if you ain't doing nothing wrong? And these are the same people that's trying to sue him because they feelings hurt. Okay.
Did what he does best.
They
write
in jail.
Really funny songs. He would call Ryan Walters as an SOB, ask the cops, "Will you help rebuild my door?" Hilariously title another, "Why are you disconnecting my camera?" And as we saw previously with another cop, he'd label it Lemon Pound Cake, the defector. Suffice to say, the cops did not enjoy having Afroman make a bunch of songs clowning on them with actual footage from their failed raid to boot. And so they did what cops always do, make the situation worse. The Adams County Police Department then decided to sue Afroman for defamation. The next paragraph is the most important of all. This suit is certain to just make things worse for the department. Afroman's videos may have gone viral, but they were mostly contained. Their reach outside of the initial wave of virality more than likely limited to Cincinnati, its surrounding areas, and whatever colleges at which Afroman goes around performing. But the trial has brought all new visibility to these videos, putting Afroman on the brink of going platinum again. There is no winning here for the cops, no matter how many distressed tears you try to pull out of these officers. Hey, I appreciate you.
You know, some real ass shit though, y'all. Like, they really did make this shit go a lot bigger than what it should have been by crying and trying to sue that man. Y'all broke into his house on a bullshit ass warrant. You fucked his shit up. You never ended up charging the man with a crime. You stole his money. And now y'all mad because he did, like, I don't know if a lot of people know, Afroman went to the police department. We covered this during the first time it happened years ago. He went to the police department, just told them, man, can y'all just fix my door? Like, he brought up the money being missing, but he was willing to let the money go. But he's like, man, y'all need to fix my door. Like, y'all broke my shit. And the motherfucker told him, we don't do that around here. So it's like, okay. Him being who he is, let him go make that money back on YouTube. Just post some videos on YouTube about y'all stupid motherfuckers running around my house. I'll make the money back that way. Now they mad. You broke into an innocent man's house and fucked his shit up and stole his money. But y'all mad because he showed y'all on camera doing it. Like, that's crazy, bro. And that's how I be in America, bro. Like, I don't know what the fuck be going on, but like, these folks be getting away with some bullshit, bro. Like, it's crazy that our justice system works a certain type of way. But we gonna keep it moving, y'all. We gonna keep it moving because had some interesting things going on, like, you know, like that war, going on over there right now. You know, I know it's a conflict according to some people, but a war to others. You know, anybody with goddamn a brain IQ above room temperature know that we actually had a war. But an interesting video that YouTube was trying to censor, man. They were trying to censor, man, but I actually got it. Shout out to the channel Uncivilized, man. They titled this one "How Israel Will Collapse." I'm trying to see this shit, man. It's about to get a little deep around here, y'all. It's about to get a little deep around here. So let's go ahead and jump into this real quick, like.
Israel will not last forever. From the outside, it can look like a fortress, heavily armed, unbreakable, a solid structure. But power and permanence are not the same thing.
Hell no.
And the cracks are already visible.
We support Israel's interests, not America's interests.
No one wants to fight for Israel!
Even Israelis are saying it.
Almost a civil war, right, left, religious, others.
What we have is the collapse of Israeli society.
The trend is towards the collapse of Zionism.
So what actually keeps Israel afloat? Like any settler colony, it depends on 5 key pillars to survive. Each one is a card holding the structure up. If those foundations start to crumble, the entire structure becomes unstable. And today, every one of them is under pressure.
Let's get to it. Let's get to it.
Every country has allies, but Israel has a lifeline. For decades, the settler colony has been kept afloat by U.S. support, military, financial, and diplomatic. The U.S. sends Israel around $3.8 billion in military aid every year, besides the
No, you can do this for some people that you ain't never did nothing to, never fucked up nothing, never did them wrong. But you can't give shit to Black Americans in here that are descendants of slaves. That show you how there's a slap in the fucking face. They be spitting on people. They be spitting. America be spitting on Black folks all the time. We sending them billions of dollars every day. But y'all could have just put them billions of dollars into our communities and stop fucking with us and think what America would be so much better right now. But now y'all are sending that shit across the sea to a group of other white folks, in my opinion, other white folks who in somebody else's land. It's amazing.
to $22 billion given over the course of the genocide. It pays for Israel's missile defense systems, covers for its genocidal war crimes, allows it to act with impunity,
We stand with Israel!
and carries out its wars.
News strikes across Tehran tonight as the U.S.-Israeli war on Iran is expanding.
And for a long time, it felt like American support would be permanent. But then, the genocide in Gaza began. And as Americans began to see what their government was supporting and what their own tax dollars were paying for, public opinion started to shift.
Pro-Palestinian protesters refusing to dismantle their tents. Doused himself in a liquid before setting himself on fire. He shouted, "Free Palestine," several times.
Sir, can we ask you America first or Israel first?
Israel first.
Israel first?
I don't think that's a damn politician in America, bro. In America. Y'all heard listen what he said again.
Free Palestine several times.
Sir, can we ask you America first or Israel?
What's this nigga name? This is a congressional office building, Washington, D.C. This was in this year, February 11th. This motherfucker said this shit. And y'all don't keep him in office?
And several times.
Sir, can we ask you America first or Israel first?
Israel first.
Israel first?
I don't think we're just sending money to a place. I do believe that our country is owned by Israel.
For the first time ever, a majority of Americans sympathize with Palestinians over Israelis, especially the young ones. These are today's voters and tomorrow's policymakers, journalists, and donors. The more they turn on Israel today, the less Israel is guaranteed its lifeline tomorrow.
We have to secure that part of the base of our support in the United States. That is being challenged. And the most important purchase that is going on right now is TikTok.
That's an evil son of a bitch right there. And his name ain't Benjamin Netanyahu, just throwing that out there for you. He changed his name. That ain't his real original name.
Number one.
And with the Epstein files, more and more Americans are waking up to how occupied the US actually is, and how deep Israel's grip on American media and politics really goes. And the awakening is only growing.
The first senior official has resigned from President Trump's.
Oh yeah, man, they trying to lock that motherfucker up right there, y'all. They trying to lock this motherfucker up right here. Let me slide to the side so y'all can see that shit a little bit better. They trying to lock his ass up. This nigga, he quit the other day. He quit and said, look, bro, I don't support this shit. They weren't no threat. I don't know why we doing this. Can't support that. Oh, Trump them trying to come after this motherfucker right now.
Administration over Iran. It's clear that we started this war due to pressure from Israel.
Who is in charge of our policy in the Middle East?
Israel got us into this war.
There was no imminent threat
to the United States of America.
And if our money and our weaponry or any type of our ammunitions are being used to murder innocent people, especially women and children.
But we did it because we have some good allies there. We have some great Middle Eastern.
And y'all remember on the very first day of this war, man, they bombed a damn school, bruh. They bombed a girls' school, killed off like 150 plus people the first day. And they tried to turn around and blame it on fucking Iran, but Iran didn't even respond to the initial strike till hours later. It was crazy. Trump talking about, yeah, you know, people got tomahawks. There's a lot of people around here with tomahawks. Iran ain't got no motherfucking tomahawks. Like, what you talking about, bro? Iran ain't got no tomahawks. Like, shit. The fuck, man, look, these people some sick ass shit, bro. Some sick ass shit.
Countries there, Israel there.
No one wants to fight for Israel.
That's one part of the story, but the other part of the story is that the war is going very badly, and hardly anyone I know can see how we come out of this winning. So if Israel is seen to be responsible for pulling us into a losing war, this will be, I think, disastrous for the lobby.
There's another part of American society that Israel is losing that would cost them dearly: the support of U.S. Jews. The number of young American Jews supporting Palestine over Israel is growing, and this is a huge problem.
Israel. We got to remember that, y'all. Yeah, they fighting the United States and Israel over there fighting Iran right now. Remember, Israel is still fucking them Palestinians up right now in fucking Gaza. They still fucking like this shit ain't stopped. He ain't stopped doing that. Like he got enough soldiers at home to handle that while they keep bombing motherfuckers. Cause they ain't, dude, this shit crazy. They got two things going on at the same time. We funding all that shit.
Certainly needs the United States, and it certainly needs American Jewry to promote Israel's case in the United States.
American Jews and American Zionist organizations are an integral part of the settler colony's infrastructure through fundraising, advocacy, and settlement. When Israel loses the support of young American Jews, it is not only losing political allies, it is losing part of the human pipeline that sustains the project itself. Because without a steady flow of settlers, the entire project begins to unravel. And it's already happening.
Let's talk about it.
It's called Aliyah, Hebrew for going up, or immigrating to Israel.
To be a settler colony, you need settlers. And to be a settler colony that is constantly expanding and stealing more and more land.
No, this is the promise of God to the patriarchs of the Jewish nation.
You need even more settlers to take over more land, to be in its occupation forces, and to control what it sees as a demographic threat. If you look at the population of Israel, it seems like Jews are a demographic majority, which they need to be to keep control and be a Jewish nation state. But these stats don't take into account the millions of Palestinians Israel occupies and controls. When you include them in the calculation, then you have a very different picture.
A demographic shift while Israel continues occupying the Palestinian West Bank might mean the country is forced to choose between being Jewish or democratic.
But Israel isn't getting as many settlers as it once did. And not only that, it's losing settlers it already had. Over 25% of Israeli Jews are considering leaving the country. The number of Israelis moving abroad has more than doubled since 2023, and thousands are applying for passports.
I best believe, Marcus. I know.
There are two reasons for this. The first is a question of safety. Israel has long upheld the myth that it is unbeatable and invincible, with its supposedly powerful military and its impenetrable Iron Dome. And this is a necessary illusion, because one of Zionism's main arguments is that Israel...
Yeah, that Iron Dome is penetrable. The Iranians showed you they could do that with some $50,000 goddamn drones. they didn't show y'all that.
Must exist.
And y'all know they were locking people up that were videotaping the strikes that actually was hitting Israel during the very beginning, because they were trying to act like Israel wasn't getting hit by nothing. Like it was just the United States and Israel just fucking Iran up. Iran was responding, bro. They were responding. They hit American bases. They hit Israel, Tel Aviv, and shit. And they were literally locking up people for showing the videos of that shit happening. Then magically, they wanted to wait some time because then they magically came out and talked about how devastating it was, what Iran has done to them. Look at all our civilians. Once they got that PR down pat, then they wanted to release shit. But they was locking citizens up, Americans, Israelis up for showing that shit. Like these some sick ass people over there, bro.
But
I ain't gonna say the people. I'm gonna say the government. It's a sick ass government over there, and whoever's aligned with it, go ahead. You in there too.
The only safe place for Jews in the world. But for the past few years, the resistance from Gaza and the south of Lebanon, and now Iran, have proven how false that myth is.
Yeah, yeah. They fighting people, bro. They fighting people, bro.
Maintaining this illusion is essential to the Zionist state, which is why they have a military censor that controls what information and what images can get out, and why most people aren't seeing how badly they're being hit. But the settlers are seeing it all. After the war on Gaza began, departures from the settler colony surged by 400% in that month alone, compared to October 2022.
Iran is now providing an effective challenge to the very existence of Israel. We'll see how many Israelis want to remain.
But safety isn't the only reason Israelis are leaving the colony. The truth is, the unraveling began long before October 7th. For years, Israeli generals, intelligence officials, and political leaders have warned that the greatest threat to Israel doesn't come from the outside. It comes from within. From the slow collapse of the one thing the project depends on most: Israeli society.
Let's get to it.
Social cohesion, the sense that a society shares common identity and a common vision for the future, is generally one of the foundations of a stable country.
Every society is divided in one way or another. I mean, essentially, that is the human condition. But what we find in Israel is that the extent of the division is stark.
Almost a civil war, right, left, religious, others.
An estimated 300,000 citizens marching Saturday.
There is an inability of the Jewish society to find a common base for their idea of what a Jewish state means.
To understand this tension, we have to look at the groups that make up Israeli society. The largest group are the Haloni, the so-called secular Jews, making up 40 to...
Let's hear about their demographics now. What they call them? The Haluni? Let's say the Haluni?
To look at the groups that make up Israeli society. The largest group are the Haloni, the so-called secular Jews, making up 40 to 50% of the population. They dominate Israel's tech sector and form the backbone of the economy and the military. They're generally non-religious Zionists and see being Jewish as a cultural identity, and Israel as a liberal democracy with Western values.
No democracy, no high-tech. Under this slogan, hundreds of those working in the Tel Avivian high-tech sector.
We're the ones supporting all of the taxes that are not paid by other groups in the...
It's a white woman. Just look at her. That is a white woman. That's just a white woman.
In the Israeli society.
At the opposite end of the spectrum are the Haredi. They're the ultra-Orthodox and most conservative.
Only around half work official jobs, and though they contribute fewer taxes, they're often entitled to more state support because of their low income.
Since Israel's founding, military service has been mandatory for most Jews, but the Haredis were exempt if they were in full-time religious studies.
Focused on a long-standing grievance, the inequality between the ultra-Orthodox and other parts of Israeli society.
They don't have to endanger their lives for the security of this country, but it should be stopped.
Tens of thousands of ultra-Orthodox Jewish protesters streamed to Jerusalem on Thursday, demonstrating against efforts to conscript seminary students into Israel's armed forces.
Between these two groups are the religious Zionists. Unlike the Haredim, they are deeply committed to the state and strongly represented in the military. But their vision of Israel is not secular. They think that the land was given to Jews by divine right, and that Israel is a religious project. They have risen to power through people like Smotrich and Ben-Gvir, and are at the forefront of settlement expansion.
These elected representatives of the religious far right took office at the beginning of 2023. Benjamin Netanyahu entered an alliance with them to come back as prime minister.
And that land they talking about, that's the land that the Palestinians been living on, bro. Taking they shit. It's going in, guns, shooting who they got to shoot, take their shit, get the fuck on. That's what they've been doing over there. And now they over here trying to cry because, Iran putting belt to ass on their little ass.
לעודד אותם ללכת מכאן, והורשתם את יושבי הארץ. זה שלנו מאז ולתמיד.
Tensions and violence in the occupied West Bank, already high, have been rising further.
Their rhetoric and policies made the carefully cultivated image as a liberal democracy increasingly difficult to buy. All these groups are not just culturally different, they live in different delusions of what the settler colony is. And this exploded in 2023.
For months, millions of progressive Israelis took to the streets to fight what they called a coup d'etat.
In early 2023, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu introduced sweeping judicial reforms that would weaken the Supreme Court.
צריך להבין שהמהפכה המשטרית הזאת נשענת במדינת ישראל על תנועה גזענית, פשיסטית, בן גביר, סמוטריץ', אנשים שרואים בעצמם עליונים מעצם זה שהם יהודים, עליונים על כל מי שהוא לא יהודי, ועליונים על כל מי שהוא לא מספיק יהודי או לא יהודי כמוהם.
For months, Israel looked like a society on the brink of internal rupture.
Now there are signs that more secular Israelis are considering leaving the country, with one recent poll suggesting 1 in 3 Israelis.
I will not raise my kids in a country with
33% right there. That's 33%, y'all. That's a lot of motherfuckers talking about getting the fuck up out of there. That's a lot of motherfuckers talking about getting the fuck up out of there. See, obviously they taking lies and laying sound like evil, not God's plan. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Israelis are considering leaving the country, with one recent poll suggesting 1 in 3 Israelis.
1 in 3.
I will not raise my kids in a country which is not democratic.
In the long term, well, shit, I hope your ass ain't trying to come to America, because, baby, you gotta run into the same problem. Just being honest with you.
If the situation will be so bad, it's worsening every day.
It's white people.
We'll find a place to live outside.
A bunch of white people in the Arab land, in the Middle East, and in Southeast Asia. It's our land. No, it ain't.
At Israel, we all have European passports.
Because you're from Europe. That's why you got a European passport.
Then
you're
October
Europe.
7th.
You're European.
And with it, one of the most powerful forces that sustained settler colonies returned to the center. The fight for survival. It's important to note that despite all their differences, the overwhelming majority of Jews in Israel believe in the dispossession of Palestinians and the colonization of their land, regardless of what they identify as.
Think about that. They celebrate, they all have the same ideology. They all agree on, majority of them agree on. Hold on, let me play that part. Let me get to that. Yeah. Overwhelmingly majority of Jewish Israelis share genocidal belief. There are no innocent people in Gaza. That's crazy, yo. That's crazy. But the sad part is kind of like the same mindset that the motherfuckers had in America when it came to the Native Americans, how white folks had the same mindset when it came to the Black Americans, Asians during World War II, Pearl Harbor shit, all that shit. It's the same people. Same people doing the same evil, just in a different place, claiming a different name. We OG Crip tonight, nigga. Last night we blood gang. You know what I'm saying? They switching up. It's crazy.
Regardless of what they identify as. Settler colonies are born through violence. It's the intrinsic DNA of this society, and it's the only thing that can restore unity between them when everything else starts falling apart. In many ways, The occupation.
Their shared hatred of another group of people. That's all they got in common. Their shared hatred of another group of people. Who you and they land. So they've been there. They've been there for a hot minute.
Has always functioned as the one unifying project of Israeli society. And the Gaza genocide took this to a whole other level. The violence unleashed by Israeli settlers defies description.
The war is not just with Hamas, the war with all the civilians.
Today is 10 times worse than yesterday, 100 times worse than the first day. Gaza is collapsing.
I can hear Hamas being pulverized, and it's the greatest sound I've ever heard in my life.
The images.
And remember, us as the United States of America, we supported this shit. And you literally had people coming up on here arguing with us about this shit. Like, bro, I'm like, it's clear as day to see what the fuck they was doing to them Palestinians over there was fucked up. Y'all wasn't going over there getting Hamas, who y'all claim is a terrorist group that did, whatever that fucking day was, September, whatever. Y'all was killing civilians. That's what y'all been on the whole time. And when we called it out, people want to sit here and argue with us. But it's like, even their whole majority of their goddamn fucking population supports this type of shit. That bitch talking about, yeah, every day I hear that shit going off, I'll just be happy. Like, yo, evil ass bitch. Okay. And if somebody came over there and did something to you, you'll be crying.
Are burned into the world's memory.
We supported this shit.
And throughout it all, the majority of the settlers not only participated, but they cheered it on.
Shit, bro.
What babies? Say that again.
In doing so, Israel revealed its moral collapse to the entire world, isolating the colony more and more as a pariah on the global stage. But isolation has its own effect.
And you know that the United States got something on the United States, because remember, y'all, they had exchange students over here that were protesting the genocide that was going on in Gaza. And Trump was literally trying to kick them out the motherfucking country. Literally did kick a couple of them out. I think they were able to come back. But I'm like, dude, they were literally hemming people up, hemming schools up for advocating against that shit. That's how much power these motherfuckers got over America. And now we over here in a war for their ass.
The more the world recoiled, the more Israeli society retreated into a siege mentality, a belief that survival depended on unity against this hostile outside world. And that instinct pushed the settlers to band together, even as their society fractured from within. This is why war has always been so essential to Israel, because it's the only thing that can bring the Jewish settlers together. It's the artificial heartbeat required to keep the corpse alive.
We don't like how the country ran. We don't like a lot of the things that's going on with our leadership. But, we do got a one singular belief that we all hate them fucking Palestinians. So, yeah, we all can come together and say, kill them. Y'all some sick-ass motherfuckers, bro. Like, straight up.
This war is so highly popular in Israeli public opinion, or in Jewish Israeli public opinion. 93% of the Israelis support this war. In no democracy, there is such a figure in a survey about any kind of question. And this...
No bullshit. Literally, we can't call that white Wakanda. We could call it white Wakanda, because that's all it is, bro. They discriminate against the Arab Jews, because, Jew is just a bloodline, supposedly. And if your mama's Jew, you a Jew, no matter what type shit. Okay, well, there's black Jews, there's Arab Jews, there's Chinese Jews, there's a lot of different Jews, but y'all don't respect that. We see how they do people over there. There ain't nothing but some more white people over there in another country. And they Wakanda, Wakanda forever. Being racist and trying to kill other people around them because they don't like them. Straight up. That's all it is. That's what's going on right now.
Comes after 2.5 years of another war.
What we have is a collapse, a social collapse. It's also psychological.
And they live in fear. And the only reason, and I know a lot of people man, they fear for their safety and stuff. You only fear for your safety because of all the fucked up shit you did to all the people around you. You done fucked over everybody around you. Now you living in fear that they might do something back to you. It's crazy, ain't it? Maybe you stop fucking with people won't want to fuck with you.
Logical collapse. It has to do with the fact that Israelis have lost connection with reality.
There is a trend here, and the trend is towards the collapse of Zionism.
And all of this is not just bad for the soul of a nation, it's also bad for business.
I'm gonna fire the economy now.
The Israeli economy was already bad before the genocide in Gaza and only got worse after, with tens of thousands of businesses going bankrupt, tourism stopping, Israel's credit score lowered, and foreign investments withdrawing. The economy is also held together mostly by the secular Jews and the high-tech industry, many of whom are emigrating and leaving the country for their safety and out of fears that Israeli democracy is dying. The judicial overhaul that got people in the streets months before would also have majorly hurt the economy by making Israel a place unsafe for businesses to operate in. One Israeli economist,
man, look, we got a felon in our White House. They got a fucking wanted criminal in they motherfucking house. They president wanted in so many different fucking countries. They want to arrest that motherfucker right now. It's crazy how they, man, look, don't come over here. Stay your ass over there, bro. Y'all wanna fucking steal people shit, stay over there and ride it out. Ride or die.
called it the end of democracy and almost the end of the world. And their economy was hurt from the outside too, through boycotts, divestments, and disruptions to their business.
Israel's only southern port on the Red Sea, the Eilat port, is at a standstill, hit hard by Houthi attacks linked to the Gaza war.
The cost of this war is already running into billions. In Israel, the economy is partially shut down, and Washington is also pouring millions of dollars every day into military operations.
$3 billion a week.
The big story in the end is what people believe. Their economic crisis is something that happens to a lot of countries, but the difference is that in Greece or in Argentina, nobody said, okay, well, this country or this state will not exist anymore. We should think about a different state now. Well, maybe there's going to be a new currency. Maybe there's going to be a new policy. Maybe there's going to be a tough period of time and then some recovery. But when we're talking about what individuals are thinking, if they don't believe in a future, if they see this as the end, then the capitalist logic is such that there is no future. Instead, they take out their money and leave. And this is a self-fulfilling prophecy.
That's what they trying to do, get the fuck out of there.
The irony is that the settler colony is built on stories of surviving extermination, from ancient times to Nazi Germany to today's world that they believe is constantly threatening them. Their narrative frames destruction as something that comes from the outside. And yet, the unraveling we see today is largely self-inflicted. They undermine their own institutions, oversee their own corruption, sow discord amongst their own people, and launch genocidal campaigns that murder hundreds of thousands and destroy both their own humanity and their legitimacy in the world. They do all that in the name of remaining on what they claim is their land, while at the same time grabbing their second passport and fleeing the very homeland they claim is essential for their survival. Somewhere beneath the surface, the settlers know the project cannot last forever. And rather than face that reality, the anxiety it produces is channeled into constant war, because it brings them together, because it's profitable, because it serves the interests of outside powers. But the more they thrash and fight, and the more they fall apart, the closer they bring the colony to its own inevitable collapse.
And that shit coming, man. And the sad part, the United States might be on the list too, man. Like, eventually that evil gonna catch up to you, bro. Like, it always does. I know a lot of people don't want it to, but it always catches up to you eventually, one way or another. And what's been going on over there in that land, bro? Like, it ain't it, bro. It ain't it. So my boy, I've said, never thought I would see in real time that reporters would be stopped from reporting the truth, especially online where it's supposed to be independent without big corporations paying people to lie. Yeah, you crazy. Like, it's wild. And the sad part, when this video first came out, like, YouTube took it down, bro. YouTube took it down. I don't know if it was like some Jewish person or whatever, somebody cosplaying as a Jewish person that didn't like it and didn't like how they was showing and explaining what the fuck is going on over there. But they took it down. Luckily, they got it back up. And the sad part, it did way more numbers now once they put it back up than what it did initially. But I'm like, you trying to stop progress around here. You trying to stop people from being, understanding the conflict, what's really going on over there, what's really, really popping, what's really, really happening. And I, honestly, man, them people need to get right, man. And a lot of Americans need to fucking start asking some goddamn questions about shit because, like, dude, they taking our money to pay for this shit. They taking our money to pay for this shit. Like, we got so many problems going on in this country right now. So many motherfucking problems. People out here struggling, bro. People struggling every damn day. But we sending billions and billions and billions of dollars to people that's pretty much just doing, it's just America 2.0, just genocide and taking other people's shit. Because that's all America ever been good at, stealing other folks' shit. But look, y'all, we gonna get off of that real quick. Like, we're gonna slide to one. This is crazy, y'all. I saw this story, and we're gonna end out with this one. I saw this story the other day, and I could not believe it, y'all. I could not believe it. But literally, the title of it, shout out to WRIC, ABC News 8, from somewhere. I don't know where the fuck they from. But these two dudes, literally, the title of it is two Virginia men who were found not guilty, yet sentenced to life. Speak for the first time. Think about this. Found not guilty, but still got sentenced to life. So I thought it was crazy. Well, let's check this shit out, man, see what we got, man, because this one right here was wild, bro.
That's hard for somebody that ain't never really been in no trouble. And we got to sit here, and these people sit here and give us a capital murder charge for something we didn't even do. We get past that and turn right around and then put you in there for life.
A quarter century behind bars, but tonight, the Waverly Two free and sharing their side of the story.
The interview you will see only on 8, coming 10 years after we first learned they'd been found not guilty of killing a Waverly police officer, but ended up sentenced to life in prison anyway.
A president commuted Terrence Richardson and Farron Claiborne's federal sentences. An attorney general supported overturning the state felony. And of course, they're no longer in a cell, but they tell me they fear they'll never escape the dark cloud hanging over their heads since 1998.
I felt betrayed. Like, how is this even possible?
Nearly 3 decades later.
It's like you thrown straight into the lion's den. You ain't never experienced none of this before.
2 men, baffled and distraught.
These people tried to kill us twice. Twice.
They tried to kill us.
Contemplating how they ended up in handcuffs twice and then in federal prison in connection to a 1998 crime they're adamant they didn't commit.
We go in there as young men, we come out, we great. Yeah. I got to stand in the mirror and look at this every day.
Terrence Richardson and Farron Claiborne say they were shell-shocked when Sussex County prosecutors charged them with killing Waverly police officer Alan Gibson during a struggle with Gibson's gun. But 17 months later, in December 1999, plea deals. For Claiborne, a misdemeanor and freedom that day. For Richardson, felony involuntary manslaughter, 5 years behind bars. There will be a lot of people watching this at home thinking, well, why plead guilty to something you know you didn't do?
I allowed the lawyer to scare me back into it because he's sitting there and said, we understand that even if you didn't do it, they're going to make somebody wear this case. And right now, it's y'all. And you're going to get the death penalty. So what are we supposed to do? And it took us 26 years to get out. So where would we be now? We wouldn't even be right here.
The potential fate awaiting them at the time of their state pleas, Virginia's speedy death row executions, within 6 years on average, the fastest in the country. But in our Taking Action team's review of court records, this letter from 9 months before those pleas states the Commonwealth's attorney was not pursuing the death penalty, and at least Richardson's lawyer knew it. Do you feel that exemplifies how?
That's crazy. So now you got a lawyer that's supposed to be defending you, and he ain't even trying to let you know. He literally insinuating that, like, bro, if you don't take this plea deal, bro, they gonna give you the death penalty, knowing that that wasn't even on the table. That's crazy, bro. Your own lawyer working against you, bro. Typical. Just typical America.
How weak their case actually was?
I think it exemplifies the fact they knew it wasn't us. Because if you thought that we actually killed, 2 black men actually killed a white police officer, you going for that death penalty.
Did you know that that was not on the table?
He didn't tell us. Because he told us that day that you could get the death penalty.
Another reason for their pleas, their attorneys and state prosecutors recently testified that in 1999, they didn't know about other evidence that local and state police had, an eyewitness description, a photo lineup, and an anonymous tip, all pointing to a different suspect.
David Chappell, which was the Commonwealth attorney, he's I think he testified that
He didn't know. He didn't have it.
So he's prosecuting the case, and he didn't have it. It was impossible for us to have it.
Those pieces of evidence supported Officer Gibson's own descriptions before he died, one coming from a 9-year-old girl.
So right around the corner. So when she hears the shot, she ducks over this way to look.
She saw a, quote, fat man with dreadlocks, not a match for either of the so-called Waverly Two.
She gave a description that didn't fit me nor Terrence. And not only that, they disregarded what the officer said, his dying declaration.
A declaration Officer Gibson made right here 28 years ago in the woods next to the Waverly Village Apartments, that complex, a former hangout for the Waverly Two.
No further than from maybe from here to those air conditioning units was the police dog. So if I was out here, why that police dog didn't come to me? He would have had my scent. That's what makes me mad.
That anger resurfaced shortly after their 1999 state pleas, as federal prosecutors appeared with new drug charges and again, charges for Gibson's murder.
They know for a fact that we didn't commit this.
Right.
They went to trial this time in 2001, the federal jury finding them not guilty of murder, but the drug charge, guilty. Then the judge executed a rare legal maneuver using their state guilty pleas to determine their federal sentences. Life with no parole.
Ain't that about a bitch right there?
With no hope. Until our
Think about his life without parole for some drugs. Not the murder, for drugs, y'all. That's crazy, bro.
2017 8 News investigation when wrongful conviction attorney Jared Adams saw their case.
I mean, this is important to me for a number of different reasons.
Wrongfully convicted himself, Adams argues law enforcement hid the evidence that could have cleared Richardson and Claiborne of everything. Over the years, garnering more support to review their case.
During Christmas time, like people were sending us cards from like United Kingdom, Canada, all over the United States.
By early 2021, then Attorney General Mark Herring learned of their story and of Richardson's petition for a writ of actual innocence to overturn his plea, a process Claiborne's misdemeanor plea isn't eligible for. But Herring's team's review did find, quote, no rational fact finder would have found Richardson guilty had all the evidence been presented. Then Jason Miyares won the AG race and reversed that position.
It's 10,000 pages to this case. There's no way you did it in 29 days.
Without the state support, Richardson has faced an uphill battle across various state courts for the past 4 years.
Well, we got to keep on wearing a title of a cop killer.
Living in fear, coming home and you know, still being uneasy because of, you know, the title.
Back at the Supreme Court last month, they're now waiting to see if Richardson will get one last opportunity to make his case there.
We get to walk out of this courtroom not only with hope, but we get to walk out with the freed men behind us.
But because last year, former President Joe Biden commuted their life sentences for the drug convictions, they are at least home. They say they're working constantly to get readjusted.
We had
Shout out to Joe for that one. Good job, Joe.
Flip phones and pages.
Hanging out together and with family, writing more.
Hey, look, I'd rather the president pardon these two dudes and pardon all them people that stormed the Capitol on January 6th. Y'all feel me? I'm just saying, y'all.
Books like the ones they wrote together in prison, even designing a clothing line. And they keep praying Richardson is granted his writ of actual innocence so they might both be cleared one day.
I'm reaching out to Jay Jones and whoever else is in position to help us.
Go back and look at what Mark Hearn and their integrity unit did. They took months to go back and investigate. They went and talked to people. You know, are you saying that they was wrong?
Do you feel optimistic you're going to get the outcome you want eventually?
Eventually. And I don't know how long that journey is. Only God knows.
They are in part eager to get help from Attorney General Jones because when he was a state delegate, he was critical of then AG Mark Herring's handling of the case. His office says he cannot comment now until the Supreme Court decides. But 4 years ago, he said both men deserved a full review of their case. That is somewhat similar to what we heard in 2020 from Officer Gibson's daughter, Chrisanna Gibson. At the time, she sent us a statement saying, quote, "I want the persons responsible for my father's murder to be held fully accountable for their actions. If that is not Terrence and Farhan, I want justice done for them, and it must not stop there." However, it's important to note that last year she did publicly post on social media saying she does believe the Waverly Two killed her father. I did try multiple ways to reach out to her and the Gibson family to understand how they're feeling about this now, and I haven't heard back yet.
Two things struck.
So she doubling down. Like, you were the one that gave the eyewitness testimony. You can see them. You said a fat black dude. A fat black dude with dreads and the other one with a ponytail. Neither one of them niggas had dreads or a ponytail. But you still believe it's them though. All right.
Like me in watching that piece. One, this is a very emotional time for both of them.
Yes, and it is because they've missed so much with their families, right? And they're kind of reminded about that every day. And they were really adamant that they
And they had to go to federal prison, y'all. They didn't even go to state prison. They went to federal.
wanted to talk about why they pleaded guilty. A lot of people may not know this, but even for people who are exonerated by DNA evidence, at least 10 to 20% of those people pleaded guilty. So we do see people plead guilty to things that they didn't commit. What they want the state to determine is that that's them as well.
And you need to ask the question why? Because these cops be in there coercing people into what really comes down to, I'm sorry, I almost stuttered like a motherfucker right there. They don't truly care about solving the crime. A lot of them don't. And a lot of them are stupid at their fucking job. A lot of people are fucking dumb. There's not a lot of smart cops out here. I'm just throwing that out there. Sorry to anybody that's a cop and that's dumb. They be putting shit on folks, especially black folks. We used to this shit. And they wonder why they talk about our crime numbers, our arrest numbers are up. Bro, they target us all the time. Then they coerce your ass into admitting to a crime because they be like, we're going to give you a death penalty if you don't say you did this shit. And a lot of these folks are young kids. They don't know no better. And they lawyer supposed to be helping them out, sitting right here over here in the cop's pocket. They work together. They get paid by the same people. It's crazy, man.
Well,
second thing that struck me is though they are walking around right now outside of prison, they are free, but they don't feel free.
No, and in addition to just like federal restrictions that they're still under, they just feel like this dark cloud follows them everywhere they go. Their supporters believe them, but they feel like they're still kind of up against the wall. And frankly, they wonder, even if the state overturns the plea, whether that will change hearts and minds for everyone.
That's a harder thing to do.
Yeah. Well,
Oh yeah, it's gonna be hard as hell for y'all to change some of these folks' minds. Cause some of these folks, they saw you as guilty as soon as they fucking showed your face. They didn't even need to see no evidence. They was like, "Yep, them niggas did it." That's how a lot of people in this country operate. All you gotta do is accuse a motherfucker, especially a white person accusing a black person of something. You automatically guilty, bro. You better go ahead and figure out a way to prove that they lying. And then even if after you prove that they lying, they still look at you like you crazy. It's amazing to me, man. Spend all that time in jail for something that they didn't do. They've been claiming they ain't do it the whole time. Shout out to Joe for commuting their sentence, but he should have just pardoned them. Don't just commute it, pardon that shit. So it comes off of their record. But they be doing that shit on purpose. At least they get out of jail. And I know some people, you just got to chalk it up to the game. Like, bro, at least y'all out of prison, bro. At least y'all out of prison. But still, though, you need to pardon them folks, man. Because now they got this shit hanging over their head. And you know, some crazy, sick motherfuckers out here. They be looking up shit online. They be like, oh, they cop killers. These crazy white folks go do some, man, look, y'all already know. Ask Charlie Kirk about it. His thing. But look, man, that's the show for tonight, man. We came, we saw, we conquered, we did it up, man. I appreciate everybody that tuned in, man. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like, subscribe, share, turn notifications on, all that in the bag of chips. But yeah, we better get up out of here, man. I got to cook something to eat, man. I'm a little hungry. But I'll catch y'all in the next one as always, man.